Igbo people are smart. We choose our battles wisely. And for this battle of Nnamdi Kanu, we are choosing to stay silent. And the people who are chosen to stay silent should not be bullied for their choice.
Thank you.
Nnamdi Kanu's governor visited him in Sokoto Prison. So Nnamdi Kanu is actually in Sokoto Prison. And at first, when I saw the news of him being in Sokoto Prison, I personally didn't believe it. I felt like it was just his people trying to make people more angry with the government because of the way the judgment was passed and all. But Governor Alex Otti visited him in Sokoto Prison. So it's confirmed that he's in Sokoto Prison. And Nnamdi Kanu, as a person, didn't get support from some of his people. There are Igbo people that are actually against Biafra. I've always known that, but I'd not seen this kind of outburst as I saw with a video of two ladies speaking against Nnamdi Kanu and speaking against the whole idea of Biafra. And one of them is actually a lawyer, and one of them, I think, is just she's actually from his own state. So they're really pained. There are lots of persons that are really pained with Nnamdi Kanu. I'll leave you guys to look at the video before I say anything, before I do any analysis on the videos.
Who are Igbos to come speak about Nnamdi Kanu's issue or involve themselves.
Maybe they're not loud enough.
I laugh. The Igbo people we are one of the smartest people. We are not just book smart, we are street smart, and we are business smart. Okay? You're telling someone to come and support a movement or talk about a movement that he initially is not wanting to be part of. The Biafran movement is not something that all Igbos are in support of. So stop trying. I need people to stop trying to mash us into one. There is a divide already on this movement. Before IPOB, there was MASOB. How did MASOB run their agenda so peacefully? But when it was time for the IPOB, we are having chaos. The East is not what it used to be. We can't travel anymore. The UGMs are in play. The ESN are in play. My state is in shambles because I am from the same state as he is. You can't come out on Mondays anymore. You move, you get killed. Why is nobody saying anything about that? We are more worried about one man who put the whole of the East in disarray for doing the wrong thing. There's tyranny, there's treason. Are we going to advocate for a tyrant? You want a cessation, you do not go about it the legal way, and you put everybody's lives from the East into problems, and then you want us to stand behind violence? Has any of you taken the time to listen to Nnamdi's radio channel for 1 hour and hear the amount of hate? The hate. I don't speak on this because it pains me to my blood. I know what we are facing. The civil war is still a mark. My father was one of them, and he will tell you, anything you do in life, do not advocate for a war. The general who started it, God rest his soul, he came out to say he regretted his actions. He wasn't even here when the chips were down. And you think Kanu will be here when he sets? What are we kidding ourselves? What are we saying? We are not, there are a lot of us not in support of the movement, and that's facts. And you cannot force it upon anybody, whether as a leader, as a statesman, or whoever hierarchy. If I'm not in support, I'm not in support. You can't use my political ambition or my political stance to hold it against me that I'm not speaking up. Igbo people are smart. We choose our battles wisely. And for this battle of Nnamdi Kanu, we are choosing to stay silent. And the people who are chosen to stay silent should not be bullied for their choice.
Thank you.
This live video I'm making this morning is to let you guys know that, look, yes, the court of first instance have given its judgment. That doesn't mean that his right to appeal has been closed or foreclosed. No, he has a right to appeal his judgment. He has a right to appeal that judgment. Then even when the appeal comes out, the judgment in the court of appeal comes out, he also has a right to the Supreme Court. It is not yet the end. So why the cry? Why all the emotional things? Why the insult on people? Must everybody support IPOB? I'm an Igbo woman, but I'm not IPOB. I'm not in support of them. Now we say justice is everybody's business. What about those who died? What about those who were killed by these IPOB people under his command? What about them? Dora Kunyeli's husband is an example. What about your non-gunmen? Yes, I agree. He has every right to seek what he wanted. Everybody has a right to agitate for change. Everybody has a right to agitate for change. You guys know me. I'm stubborn when I believe in something. So at a point, I liked this young man. I loved Nnamdi Kanu. At a point, because I could see a young man vibrating, wanting for change, calling for change, just like our late Ojukwu. Everybody loved the movement. Everybody loved the idea. Everybody loved the way it was going. But immediately bloodshed entered. I cut myself off. Immediately they started, the command and everything started. Bloodshed. It became another thing. I said, no, I'm not part of this. Because my duty first, my love first is to humanity. Nobody's life should be cut short because I'm agitating for something I don't even know if I will get. Now, what was the cause of the fight in Rwanda? Most of you don't know history. Most of you don't read. Everybody's saying, did he kill anybody? Did he do this? Did he do that? When you incite violence, when you talk to people in such a way that you ginger them, that is why influencers should be careful. I always tell, especially Facebook influencers, those that have the power to move people. Most people don't reason. Most people don't use their brain. Then there are some of us that have the brain. God has given us the brain. We can either use it for good or for evil. Then when you now use that brain that God has given you to incite violence in people, tell them that this person is your enemy, that person is your enemy, the person that wears good clothes is your enemy, the person that does this is your enemy. The person begin to, you have worked on them. They believe in you. They see you as a God. Once people start looking at you, looking up to you, seeing you as a role model, you have to be careful what you say. Because if what you say makes them commit a crime, you are in for it. That is the truth. Now, what is the cause of the war between the Hutu and the Tutsi in Rwanda? I visited Rwanda. I went to the genocide museum. I saw things for myself raw. Most of you don't travel. Most of you don't know history. Right now in Rwanda, there's no tribe. Ask anybody, where are you from? I'm from Rwanda. They don't have, I am from Igbo, or I'm from Yoruba, or I'm from Hausa. I think Nigeria too should imbibe that. Nigeria should copy that thing from Rwanda. Rwandans are not friendly. Like, they are very, very skeptical. They don't trust outsiders. When I visited Rwanda and I saw all of them, they are not open to receiving guests because they don't know if you're coming to destroy them again. That genocide left their mental health scattered. So if you have seen war, you go run from war. What was the cause of Rwandan this thing? Ordinary utterance that was made on a radio station, calling a particular tribe cockroaches. If you don't know about the history, watch this movie sometime in April, or you watch Hotel Rwanda. Watch it. Our own Stephanie Konedo acted it, a Nigerian lady. She was one of the major characters in that Hotel Rwanda. Then Idris Abba acted sometime in April. Go and watch that movie so you understand how the Rwandan war started. Utterances, just talk, one person talk for radio station. They fought that war for many years. That Rwanda is still trying to revive. In fact, Rwanda has done well after 20-something years. After 20-something years of that fight. No, almost 30 years of that fight. After 20-something years of that fight, or 30, they're just approximately 30 years. They're just trying to recover. And they're doing very well. Nigerian Naira is just few change above their own. Very soon, their money will be above our own. We are here. Rwanda that faced real civil war. Internal civil war. We are here. Ordinary utterance scattered the whole country. Then you are saying that is injustice. What about those that died? What about those that died, that lost their life? That your family member did not die does not mean that the person who incited it does not deserve some punishment, level of punishment. What are you saying? Everybody's just being emotional. What about those that died? Those that were their life were cut short, those that were kidnapped. There's a lawyer, there's a Rotarian in Port Harcourt. Up to today, they've not seen his body. Teddy or something they call him. Speedy or Teddy, something like that. What are you saying? Igbos are the ones suffering this thing. Igbos are suffering it. Igbos in Ugwa are suffering Ugwa this thing. Any small thing, the Hausas will start burning their properties. Those in the north. Igbos in the north are suffering. Any small incitement, anything where just incite violence, they will burn Igbos property. Burn Igbos this thing. Pursue Igbos. Kill Igbos. Igbos will run down to Igbo state. When they run down to Igbo state, their own home, IPOB and September. So Igbos, I began to cry for the Igbo. Where will they stay? Where will they call home? They run to Lagos. Lagos shall say no be Igbo. Get out. Come out every Igbo. These are that. They go to Ugwausa. They threaten them. They come to Igbo. They threaten them. So where do you want Igbos to stay? Nobody's looking at that. Most of you are just head mentality, brainless. You want to unfollow me? I will follow you now. I thought, fuck you. Block yourself. Do you pay me? You're coming to tell me that you want because I air my opinion. Because I said my own part of what I feel. You see that judgment? It is airtight. There's no judgment that cannot face appeal. But the truth is that that judgment will stand any appeal, even any appeal before God. That judgment will stand. I have the judgment. I will send it on. I will paste that. I will paste that judgment on this on the comment section. I have gone through the judgment. I read it. That judgment is airtight. Justice Omotosho did a very thorough job. Now let us even look at it. He had his lawyers along the line. His choice of lawyers were even very okay. Kanu Agabi SAN. I love that man to stupor. Onyechi Ipazu. Good, brilliant, one of the best lawyers in Nigeria. He had them along the line. He debriefed them that he wanted to do his case himself. They gave him time to do his case himself. He started dribbling everybody. Okay, look at his attitude in court. How do you even start to beg for such a person? I was just asking. If you even want to beg for such a person, how? Get a hold on your emotions. Because the international community is watching. Now if they even want to beg for you, how did they start? You that insult a judge, call the judge by the name and tell him he doesn't know anything. You that push people, don't touch me, you are pushing. Why the grag, to what end? And nobody's looking at that. Nobody's looking at that. He had his chances. Okay, defend yourself. Yes, anybody can defend. Anybody can represent themselves in court. Defend yourself. Time was running out. Defend yourself. Nothing. Let me tell you, when you rest your case on that of the prosecution, when you say, look, I have no case to answer, or I rest my case, it's suicidal. You are not giving the court the right to judge you by your opponent's testimony against you. That is what he did. Okay, my opponent has finished talking, Abi. I don't have anything to answer him. You refuse to put a defense. No matter what the defense did, put up a defense. You did not put up a defense. You did not put up a defense. And you want the judge to give you what you don't ask for. You want the judge to perform magic. How? By the time you rest your case on that of the prosecution, it is a suicidal. Immediately he did that, and I knew it was suicidal. What were you expecting? That they would not free him? He couldn't even defend himself. Come and say, okay, at least leave your legal, even though you know all the law. When it comes to representing yourself, you will lose it. I am a lawyer, a proud lawyer. But there are some cases that are personal. I will have to brief my colleague to come and represent me. Because if I represent myself, I will lose, I will make mistake. Dr. Adagwonweya, even if you are a born lawyer, Dr. Adagwonweya, when she come to shove, you call a lawyer, you brief a lawyer to please come and, you know the law, but when it comes to that representing yourself, you must miss it. You'll be emotional. You had a very beautiful legal team. Kanu Agabi SAN. I know they joke with that man. You debriefed him. That guy, shit. How do you start to beg? How do you even start to defend such a person? Erratic, anger, everything. Everybody watched it. Yet people are saying it's injustice. How? How is it injustice? Those who lost their life on IPOB and all these demand, what happened? And people were not listening to his radio communication. People were not listening to everything he was saying. People were not listening to, what about the military guys, the military couple that were killed in Olu? The video was there. The woman was beheaded. Her vagina was cut off. When I don't see the video, how do you see white and call it black? How is it injustice? Who will give those ones justice? Whose command were they carrying out? People's in military. Waste them. Kill them. Whose command were they carrying out? Whose command were they carrying out? You incite people into war. You incite people into fighting themselves and say it's not your fault because you are not the one in the forefront that did it. As long as you are an influence that incited these people, my dear, you are going down with them. So at what point did they do injustice? Let me understand. You are calling it injustice. What is injustice? He was given a right to represent himself. He was given a right to counsel. He was given, I was even shocked that Justice Omotosho gave his people right for allocutus. I called one or two of my friends. I was following up yesterday, but I was too busy. So once I would just call Victor. Alpha, I've definitely delivered the judgment. Okay, what about allocutus? This one, he doesn't have a lawyer. Who will do allocutus for him? Allocutus means plea for mercy. I was so happy when Justice Omotosho gave them the microphone. I said, since you're a legal consultant and you have been coming to court for him, please, I will not shut him out from allocutus. Say he's allocutus or say something about allocutus. That is plea for mercy. And this Mr. Obi, he used to be my friend. Mr. Obi took the microphone and started talking. I listened to his speech. I listened to his legal counsel's speech. He was given all, he was given all the rights for fair hearing. Up to allocutus. He was given all. There was no comma, no mistake. That's why I said that judgment is airtight. It will stand any appeal, even before God and man. That judgment will stand any appeal. And my only fear is that if he stands appeal, I pray they don't give him the maximum punishment. Maximum punishment is death. Death sentence immediately. So now, I'm even surprised that the judge was mindful enough to reduce it to just life imprisonment. At least life imprisonment, at least being alive and serving a life imprisonment, there is hope that one day something will happen. But what about death sentence? He did not even pronounce the maximum that was required by law. He gave him life, which is fair. But you people don't understand. That's why you are emotional. What if it was death sentence? What you not going to talk? The death sentence they give him before Friday, they don't buy him. What you not going to talk?
Listen, sis. If you look at, there's this lady on YouTube, and then she used to have 500 views, 200 views. I see her videos too, and I watch her videos. I like her. In fact, I'm one among her subscribers. And then all of a sudden, she did a video about Nnamdi Kanu, and her channel blew up. It got over 20,000 views. So if people want to trend, they just go and they start talking about Nnamdi Kanu. In fact, because if you do anytime, you do hashtag Nnamdi Kanu, that video will be, recommended for a lot of persons, because a lot of persons are interested in the case. A whole lot of persons, more percentage of Nigerians actually feel like his judgment was not fair, and most of their basis, in fact, one among the serious basis they have for saying the judgment is unfair is because bandits are actually given pardon and even recruited back into the same force that they are fighting. What did this guy do that these bandits didn't do? That you're passing a life sentence on him. That is a lot of Nigerians' view. But it's surprising to actually see that this Igbo lawyer is saying that his judgment is tight. Like, she has seen the judgment, and she made a few points that I can agree with. First, Nnamdi Kanu was not supposed to defend himself. He is not a lawyer. I think a lawyer would have done better. It's possible that he may not have, changed the outcome of the sentence, but I think a good lawyer was a better option for him. And I feel like they just want to trend. And then on the flip side, they too didn't even balance it, because the government of Nigeria, we all know how it is. I won't say what you want me to say, but at least you know what I mean. The government of Nigeria. Okay, if you want to say Nnamdi Kanu is actually wrong, yes, there are a few things that have happened, unfortunately, because of that incitement. People get overly emotional sometimes, especially, see, it's even difficult to talk about Nigeria and you're not emotional about it. It's difficult. In fact, so long as you live in Nigeria, it's only those in diaspora that want to talk and they make rules. We that live here, we know the real thing that is happening. And if you want to go talking about it in deep details, you will definitely feel emotional. So the whole idea of banditry and stuff and rehabilitation and the nonsense that is going on, and I feel like that was what incited those overly excited Biafrans, and they went on a rampage. And now a lot of lives were lost in that time. Lives were lost, and the lady is like, how about the lives of those who were lost when he made that incitement? How about those lives? It was because of him. But they should try to also balance it. Make them talk the truth. The truth. Are we happy in this country? If you're from this country and you're a common Nigerian like myself and you're not a politician, how happy are you with the system? So I think basically they just want to trend. That's all. And I think they've gotten the trend they want. Now, so what? Now, the internet doesn't forget. I read through the comment section, and a lot of persons were like, we'll save this video. The internet doesn't forget. We'll save this video. So one of them should not come out and cry out tomorrow that something happened. Nigeria is not fighting. Maybe they not come cry out. Should they have said his incitement was wrong and all? They made valid points, but they should try to also balance their points. That's my take. Please do subscribe to this channel if you love my face. Have a nice